Welcome back to another Top 10s Day Wednesday video. Today's video is part 3 of a 4-part series as we continue ranking the most valuable annual pre-constructed commander decks throughout Magic the Gathering's history. The 10-year anniversary of Wizards of the Coast's first ever Commander product is right around the corner. To celebrate, I think it would be flavorful to review the current expected value of every pre-constructed deck that has been released over this period of time. This list is comprised of the annual Commander decks and not the set Commander decks that were introduced with Zendikar Rising. This list also will not include the Commander 2021 decks. As there are 42 decks that have been released since 2011, splitting this series into 4 separate top 10 videos seems appropriate. The bottom 22 decks already have been discussed, and if you missed them or want to review them, then you can click on the links in the description below. Before we continue, first, a disclaimer. The expected value of these decks were researched at the same time in order to compile the overall list of 42 decks. As this series is going to be spread out over a course of weeks, it is likely that the expected values of these decks will change during this time. These changes may modify the overall rankings of this list, as some decks are separated by mere pennies. Keep that inevitability in mind and think of this list as a snapshot in time of where these decks rank from the standpoint of expected value as compared to the time of viewing this video. Now let's continue with the next 10 decks. Number 20 on this list is Power Hungry. The last entrant from the class of 2013, this June deck features Prosh, Skyraider of Care, as its front-facing commander, in addition to Sekuar, Deathkeeper, and Shattergang Brothers as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Primal Vigor at around $32. This deck wants to take advantage of Prosh's ability to create creature tokens and utilize its sacrifice outlet in order to receive temporary power boosts and potentially eliminate opponents with lethal commander damage. However, lethal commander damage is not the deck's only viable win condition. The 99 has 30 creature spells and is filled with a host of other spells that can take advantage of big armies and expendable creatures. Sekuar replaces the death of a non-token creature you control with a 3/1 creature token with haste, and Shattergang Brothers provide a litany of removal through sacrificing creatures, artifacts, or enchantments. Number 19 on this list is Devour for Power. Released in 2011, this Sultai deck features the Mimeoplasm as its front-facing commander, in addition to Damia, Sage of Stone, and Vorosh the Hunter as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Grave Pact at around $26. This is where Sultai was born, baby. When the Mimeoplasm enters the battlefield, it exiles 2 target creatures from graveyards. The Mimeoplasm becomes a copy of one of these creatures and then receives a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the power of the other exiled creature card. This deck is dedicated to getting creature cards into graveyards. Spells like Windfall and Shared Trauma can fill graveyards quickly, while other spells like Buried Alive and Fact or Fiction create opportunities to be more selective about which cards are put into your graveyard. With numerous graveyard recursion spells included in the 99, the resiliency and staying power of this deck is on full display, checking all of the boxes of what Sultai does best. Number 18 on this list is Arcane Wizarding. Released in 2017, this Grixis deck features Inala, Archmage Ritualist, as its front-facing commander, in addition to Kess, Dissident Mage, and Marisil the Pretender as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Kindred Dominance at around $34. The 2017 product was Wizards' first foray into the tribal-themed pre-constructed commander decks. As its moniker suggests, This is a wizard tribal build. As such, the 99 is filled with wizards. The primary commander option of this deck, Inala, has the Eminence mechanic, which allows you to pay 1 to create a copy of another non-token wizard when it enters the battlefield. The copy has haste and is exiled at the beginning of the next end step. Easily the weakest of the 2017 front-facing commanders, Inala is not even the most popular commander option in this deck, as Kess Dissident Mage is 60 spots higher than this build's primary option. Number 17 on this list is Heavenly Inferno. In a return to 2011, this Mardu deck features Kaalia of the Vast as its front-facing commander, in addition to Tariel the Reckoner and Oros the Avenger as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Stranglehold at around $30. This is where Mardu was born, baby. Not only that, but this is where my love for the commander format began. Heavenly Inferno was my first venture into the EDH format, and I haven't looked back since. Kaalia has a powerful ability to put onto the battlefield tapped and attacking an angel, demon, or dragon whenever she attacks. The deck includes 21 combined angels, dragons, and demons, which includes first-time printings of creatures such as Archangel of Strife, Mana-Charged Dragon, and Dread Cacodemon. Kaalia is one of the most popular commander options according to EDHREC.com. She currently is ranked number 26 overall, over 400 spots higher than the top secondary commander option of this deck, Tariel. Number 16 on this list is Breedlethality. Released in 2016, this 4-color deck features Atraxa, Praetor's Voice as its front-facing commander. Also, there are 3 legendary creatures with the partner mechanic. Ikris Shadiki, the Usurper, Rayhan, Last of the Abzan, and Ishai, Ojatai Dragonspeaker. The most valuable card in this deck is Atraxa, Praetor's Voice at around $16. The 2016 Commander product introduced Magic's first 4-color legendary creatures as well as the partner mechanic. For the first time, 2 legendary creatures could be selected as commanders as long as they both have the partner mechanic. This revolutionized and injected the EDH format with 4-color deck options that were previously unfathomable prior to this product's release. As Atraxa proliferates at the beginning of your end step, the 99 is filled with spells centered around +1/+1 counters and proliferation. Atraxa is the second most popular commander over the past 2 years, according to EDHREC.com. Number 15 on this list is Invent Superiority. Returning to 2016, this 4-color deck features Breya, Ethereum Shaper, as its front-facing commander. Also, there are 3 legendary creatures with the partner mechanic. Akiri, Lineslinger, Bruce Tarl, Borwish Herder, and Silas Wren, Seeker Adept. The most valuable card in this deck is Hellkite Tyrant at around $29. This deck has an artifact theme focusing on Breya's various abilities. When she enters the battlefield, you create 2 1/1 blue Thopter creature tokens with flying. You can pay 2, sacrifice 2 artifacts, and then choose among dealing 3 points of damage to target player or planeswalker, giving target creature -4/-4 until end of turn, or gaining 5 life. As Breya is the focal point of the deck, the 99 is inundated with artifact spells, artifact creature spells, and other spells that synergize with artifacts. This allows Breya near limitless resources to lightning bolt opposing players and planeswalkers, remove creatures from play, and or gain life. Number 14 on this list is Wade into Battle. Released in 2015, this Boros deck features Kalemni, Disciple of Iroas, as its front-facing commander, in addition to Anya, Merciless Angel, and Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight, as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Urza's Incubator at around $33. As this deck is from 2015, it is built around experience counters. Whenever you cast a creature spell with a mana value 5 or greater, you get an experience counter. Calamity gets +1/+1 for each experience counter you have. Adding these power and toughness boosts to a 3/3 creature with vigilance and double strike can be intimidating. However, the lack of evasion can keep this primary commander option grounded and deny the potential for victory through lethal commander damage. Unfortunately, the deck lacks appeal as the most popular commander option is Gisela, ranked 337th over the last 2 years as per EDHREC.com. Number 13 on this list is Swell the Host. Returning to 2015, this Simic deck features Izuri, Claw of Progress as its front-facing commander, in addition to Cassetto, Orokai Archmage, and Prime Speaker Zagana as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Arachnogenesis at around $32. Again, as this deck is from 2015, it is constructed around experience counters. Whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you get an experience counter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is equal to the number of experience counters you have. This build wants to go wide and tall. The 99 has 33 creature spells and various spells that synergize with +1/+1 counters, as well as granting evasion and additional power and toughness boosts to creatures. The deck also has numerous card-drawing spells which helps to enable the +1/+1 counter engine throughout the entirety of a game. Number 12 on this list is Political Puppets. The last entrant from the class of 2011, this Jeskai deck features Zedru the Great-Hearted as its front-facing commander, in addition to Numat the Devastator and Ruhan of the Fomari as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Champion's Helm at around $30. This Zedru-led deck is a group hug-themed build in that it has abilities to provide resources to opponents, beginning with the abilities of the primary commander. If you tap blue, red, white, then target opponent gains control of target permanent you control. None of the permanents in the 99 can be considered hazardous for an opponent to control. Aside from Zedru, there are other opponent-friendly spells like Nin the Pain Artist, Spurn Mage Advocate, Arbiter of Knoll Ridge, and Juten Grunt. Zedru's payoff is the ability to gain life and draw cards equal to the number of permanents you own that are controlled by your opponents. Number 11 on this list is Call the Spirits. The last entrant from the class of 2015, this Orzhov deck features Daxus the Returned as its front-facing commander, in addition to Karloff of the Ghost Council and Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts, as additional commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Karloff of the Ghost Council at around $24. There are nearly 30 combined enchantment and enchantment creature spells in the 99 in order to take advantage of Daxos' experience counters. When you cast an enchantment spell, you get an experience counter. If you tap 1, a white, and a black, then you create a white and black spirit enchantment creature token with power and toughness equal to the number of experience counters you have. This powerful ability is attached to a creature whose mana value is just 1, a white, and a black. Call the Spirit's secondary commander option is more popular than Daxos, as Karloff of the Ghost Council is ranked around 60 spots higher, according to EDHREC.com. That'll do it for this portion of the list. Stay tuned for the last installment in this series, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons on your way out. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for Celebrating Commander.